this opportunity the talking about and the percentage my exposition of the course on Phonetic number 2. The name is Hello teacher. In this opportunity the talking about the percentage my exposition of the course Phonetic number 2. My name is Diana Lisset Van de Vasquez. In this part represent the contents. The first topic is variants of English. The second topic is phonetic and phonology. Number 3 speech and mechanics in articulatory. Number 4 English and phonemes. Number 5 characterization and classification of vowels. Number 6 characterization and classification of consonants. Number 7 about the segmental level. Number 8 and the syllable. Number 9 and show and with force in the relation to sentences stream. And the first topic is variety of English, and the first part and the definition refers to difference in the system of the language and the emerging from the social, history, geography and other change. The principal ideas for a dialect, a speech community, and sociolect, reolect, and accent standard and standard. And a dialect is normed by a regional or social disadvantage and defined by a particular vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammatical. In this opportunity, the talking about the percentage my exposition of course Phonetic number 2. My name is Diana. Continue the percentage that contains, and the first topic is variety of English, phonetic and phonology. Number 3 is speech and mechanics in articulatory. Number 4 English phonemes. Number 5 characterization and classification of vowels. Number 6 characterization and classification of consonants, difference and vowels of consonants. Number 7 is about the segmental level, the syllable, strong and with the force in relation of the sentences string. And the first topic is variety of English. The principal definition is a reference to difference in the systems of a language that emerge from the social, historical, and geographic and other change. In the percentage, the other topics, idiolectic, dialectic, recite, accent, standard, dialect, the government by regional or social distinctives and identified by particular vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammatical structure. For example, in English is cat, in Spanish is gato. For example, my favorite color is red. In English, en Spanish, mi color favorito, bueno, tenemos la misma estructura, mi color favorito es el rojo, por ejemplo, ¿no? Pero entre el inglés y en el español tenemos acá diferentes la estructura. Continue. Speech community refers a group of people who speak an certain dialect. Sociolect enriches the language in the variety that defines on social. Reolect describes the language spoken in particular and geographic. For example, in Cajamarca is Misho, And for example, in the United States is cat, and another city is gato, for example. Standard form of the language. Standard variates consequently are defined as dialects. Continue the percentage that types of receive pronunciation. Receive RP, general RP, mating RP, hyper crush RP, advanced RP. And research RP, which is the most recited to change, is the characters, is the older recognition, is the traditionally used to certain the profession or social groups. Continue is the general RP, which that commonly defined as the pronunciation adopted by BBC and is the time most commonly in use. Continue advanced RP, which the types attend to the change and shift, and they use the young people of class/social groups. Continue is the master RP, which largely corresponds to the general RP. And the last is RP crush RP, which is the most conservative and old-fashioned and type of RP. Continue the phonetic and phonology. The principal ideas is definition for the words. Definition, for example, phonetic, phonology, the letter, sound, phoneme, allof phonemes, minimal pairs. Phonetic is the concept with the physical manifestation of language in the sound ways for that they are produced, transmitted, or perceived. Phonology studies the sound system of language, letter. For example, the letter D. A character represents one more of the sound and use speech any of the syllables on the alphabet. For example, can you spell your name? For example, E-R-I-K. For example, one example that represents the sound. The sound is often regarded as not begin and reserve one that feels on phonetic and phonology. Phoneme implies the phonetic space of phonemes and the small independent unit that I can write about the change in meaning. I love phonemes that belong the sound phone such and as the for English. The finally point is minimal pairs. Two words that vary only single sound, usually meaning sound that may confuse English learning, like for example the F and B, infant and band, of the E and A, text, this. Acá tenemos, ¿no?, el diferente caso, puede ser un mismo al momento nosotros, por ejemplo, hay algunas letras que nosotros tenemos que, por ejemplo, acá tenemos el sonido de la I, acá en el inglés suena como la E, ¿no? O sea, tenemos diferente escritura y diferente sonido. Continue that remembers number of the sound and letters in your native language. For example, P, V, 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 K, J, M, N, L, R, J, W, F, M, V. The difference? Symbols. Acá tenemos, ¿no?, el uso de la sh, diferentes, en este caso, diferentes símbolos que se nos está presentando. Continue the range of phonetic The first point is articulatory phonemes, acoustic phonemes, auditory phonemes. And the first part is adopting the difference respect the reference to in the describe of phonemes. Above it can be viewed and investing three distinct R's and represent the following range of phonemes. The first, articulatory phonics, acoustic phonics, auditory phonics. Articulatory phonics, which study the ways the vocal organs are used to produce speak the sounds. Aquí nosotros tenemos lo que produce los sonidos, ¿no? Acoustic phonics, which investigate the physical properties of speech, the sounds, duration, frequency, intensity, and quality, that are generally measured by stream rates to the deep waveforms and spectrogrammers. Entonces aquí nosotros en la primera parte tenemos lo que nos compete. Aquí es donde nosotros podemos hacer los sonidos. Acá en cambio tenemos cómo nosotros lo presentamos, la entonación, la duración, en este caso que se nos está presentando, y luego tenemos el último, auditory phonetics, which is the concern with how people receive speak the sound and how the sound waves active the listener's ears and how the message is carried to brain in the form of nerve impulse. Continue teach the mechanics in articulatory the phones, the parts and the force in the sound. Acá tenemos en este caso las partes donde vamos nosotros utilizando para entonar cualquiera de, en este caso, de las palabras. Hard palate, soft palate, forehead, lectures, ensues, trachea, nasal, cavity, nostril, lip, throat, teeth, oral cave, wipe, lung, diaphragm. The stage in the physical speech. The first intonation and the lungs provide the energy course. And number 2 is phonation. The vocal folds in the convert the energy in the audio the sound. Number 3, the oral process. The soft palate and distributes the audible the sound into the oral cave or the nasal cave. Articulation, the organize of speech that transforms the sound into speech the sound. Entonces aquí en este caso tenemos las partes, ¿no? Nosotros tenemos la entonación, el inicio de la respiración, la entonación, el proceso y al final tenemos de lo que se produce, ¿no? Bueno, acá yo he colocado algunos ejemplos. En este caso tenemos aquí el abecedario de lo que nos compete en la forma fonológica, la tengo ahí y acá tenemos publicado algunos, ¿no? Sound classes, vowel, consonant, and sonorous. Vowels are the class of the sound that are associated with the less strive to the flow of air during their pronunciation. Consonants are the class of the sound that are associated with the upstrive airflow through the vowel tract during their producing. Sonors are the sound that are voiced and voiced do not cause side upstrive to airflow to prevent normal voiced from continuous. Acá yo he colocado algunos ejemplos de lo que nos compete la pronunciación de las vocales y de las consonantes, y aparte tenemos los sonores que tenemos, ¿no? For example, cat, lack, or far, cat, lack, way, film, net, bed, floor, layer, hit, city, sea, heat, hot, rock, cold, fur, foot, could, blue, foot, 5, 8, no, oh, go, home, we're here, say, hey, near, here, boy, John, for, doors, bad, long, did, late, find, if, give, lay, how, hello, yes, yellow, cat, black, leg, little, man, lemon, nothing, sing, finger, pit, mat, red, stripe, sun, mess, shy, crush, thick, getting, chick, chair, think, bow, this, mother, boys, 5, wet, window, zoo, lazy, pleasure, vision, just, large. Entonces acá lo que tengo son algunos ejemplos de algunas palabras que nosotros utilizamos tanto con las vocales y acá tanto con las consonantes. Continue, sonors, as in a map, as in nose, as in kind, as in love, as in red, as in jack, as in weight. Characterization and classification of vowels. From central black, close shoes, half close, head and back is put, half open head, back is said, open hat and around is hot or hard. Characterization and classification of consonants. There are 24 consonants in English. Out of 7 of them are referred to as sonors because that share several features. The poor 70 consonants. In short, consonants are classified by place, manner, and voicing and the like below. The place of extraction. The following the groups of consonants is which varies the top positions are bounded with various localizations. The number 1 is bilabial P, V, M, Y, labial dental F, V, apico-alveolar and T, D, N, L, S, apico-palleolar R, laminopalar J, velar K, J, N, glottal H. The manner of abstraction is the concern with the degree of sustain the abstraction and the way in which it is the forming in the vocal tract. The abstraction and sonor with the type of abstraction are classified under of the two terms. Close abstraction V, V, T, D, K, J. Nasal sonors M, and fricative obstruct and F, V, E, Z, H. Construct sonors R, J, Y. En este caso, yo solamente he ido colocando algunos ejemplos de acuerdo al libro que se nos presenta para en este caso poder revisar un poquito más de lo que es pronunciación. Aquí, por ejemplo, yo había colocado ejemplos. Ahí no he colocado los ejemplos, la pronunciación en este caso. Ahí tenemos toda la exposición que nos compete. Los 7 capítulos. Entonces, bueno, eso es lo que he presentado de acuerdo a mi exposición. Eso es todo lo que compete en mi exposición. Thank you so much, Teacher Eric.